Okay, I think we're on and we're operating. You can see the mouse on the screen here. I just want to do a quick illustration or demonstration of how to use regression when we've got three input variables. So this is an ice cream sales example, and here's our input variables. Okay, these are all our independent, if you will, variables. And I haven't tested for multicollinearity. I just want to show how you would use Excel to do it. So here's our input variables, and of course that's our predicted output. We're trying to predict ice cream sales, so that's our dependent variable, right? That's our dependent variable there. I probably should label that dependent variable. All right. Probably makes sense to draw a line between this just so we can see the difference. And not underline that, but boy, can't type it all today. Should be a period. Hit enter. There we go. Okay, so what we're doing is we're saying, well, we've taken some random samples and we've said outside our ice cream shop, we've counted the number of cars we saw in the parking lot. We share that with a mall with a bunch of other businesses. Okay, and then we're monitoring what the temperature was on that day. And then we also monitored the number of days above 80 degrees in a row. Now, if we're not 80 degrees, of course it's 0. But then we've got some other factors. And then here it was the ice cream sales we had. So if we wanted to do a multi-regression analysis on this, we've got that data there. I'm just going to come up to here, and I'm going to go up to my Excel window. Now you won't see me do this. Well, actually I could. I could slide down so you could see that. I'm going to click on Data, and then I'm going to click off to the side. At least on mine, my data analysis comes up over here. I click on Data Analysis. Okay, then I'm going to pick on Regression, hit OK. Okay, and I'm going to say, well, the input, now let me slide back so you can see this. Move this out of the way a little bit. I'm going to say the input range is right here. Okay, so I give it the row heading as well as the other rows. Now, keep in mind, I've wrapped the text so that row 5 is a bit thicker, or, I don't know, longer, taller. But it's still just one row, right? Row 5. And then I give all the input variables. Oh, I'm sorry, I did that wrong. The Y range is simply right here. I did this backwards. That's the dependent variable, and I am giving it the label. Then the X range are these items here. Now, once I have that on the screen, I tell it there's a label on the first row, and then I've said the output range, just put it here. And I've just highlighted a big block over here, bigger than what I need. Okay? See the big block there? You can see that. Let me put this back to where it was. Then I'm going to hit that, and I'm going to hit OK. And I'll slide this over so you can see the input range now. I'll click off of it so you can read it. Okay, so what it does is it gives you the coefficients right here, right? There's an intercept, and then it's going to tell us number of cars, the temperature, and number of days over 80. So from there, of course, we could make a prediction, right? We could make a prediction like, you know, if number of cars was 10, and I'll just do this in one cell. Well, actually, why don't I do this the way I would probably do it? I would probably say, if I wanted to make a prediction, I would just copy from there, and then I'd put in my values. Now, I think what I'm going to do is widen this right here, and I'm going to say, well, what if we had 10 cars, the temperature was 81, we only had one day above 80, then our forecasted ice cream sales would be equal to the 10 times the number of cars in the parking lot. Well, actually, I'd start off with the intercept first. I'm going to have to include that intercept because that includes all other factors that aren't modeled in our regression analysis here. And I'm going to add in then 10 days times the coefficient for number of cars in the parking lot. Then I'll add in a temperature of 81 times the coefficient for temperature. And I would add in number of days above 80. I got to, that'd be 1 times our coefficient. And I'd have a prediction that sales would be, let me format this a little bit. What I'm going to do is go to the, actually I'll just right click and do it here and format this with a $sign. Right click, $sign. And our format would be ice cream sales would be 1856.98. Now I would probably, since the data was given in whole dollars, I would probably just round that. Oh, Rocky, don't bark. My dog's barking. Hang on 1 second. Okay, so I just rounded that there to a whole number, and that's how the answer. Now, keep in mind, like I say, I haven't explored any of the other statistical information we'd want to explore. Certainly, we want to look at multicollinarity, right? We need to make sure that we truly do have independent variables. But that's just a quick analysis of how you would do multilinear regression using Excel. I hope that was helpful.